tuning in.
I bet you Canada does tune in.
Canada, that only seems slightly lesser insane than the United States right now.
Oh,
Slightly.
dude, Canada's way more insane than the U.S. Like the rhetoric is not as insane, but the
It's it's
actions are
it's just like
far more insane.
I feel like it's just polite arguing. Hoser
Yeah.
might be thrown around a little bit.
Well, there's that, but then they also will roll up on your church 200 Mounties deep and shut that shit down.
Right?
So,
Rocky and Bullwinkle.
yeah, no shit. I think I think maybe we got some people listening. Let's
Who
oh
dat?
yeah, we got some people. Come on.
Who
Let's
dat?
roll with it. Let's hear this theme song.
Doom, 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 doom. Sucking on my titties like you wanted me, calling me all the time. I Chrissy Banana so fine. All the
I
time.
forgot the
The
word.
teachers and peaches with sex on
Fuck
the
the pain
beaches.
away. Fuck the pain away. Welcome to Fence Post Politics, folks.
We thought
We
we'd
got a
open up with a song from a porno for our
yeah.
listeners tonight.
I was trying to get my theme song playing that was not recorded by Sam McHugh. It was not, so it's not a gay song. It was recorded by a real man who keeps his word, Matt Wilson. Sam McHugh, my partner in Move Your Ass Media. He's a real D-bag. So anyway, thanks, Matt Wilson. Just I
Geez,
love you,
Sam.
Sam.
Hey,
I
Sam,
love
you
you,
should
Sam,
change
but
your name to Jerry.
Jared Dog.
Jared.
Anyhow, we got a good show, I think, Aaron. We're gonna talk a little bit about immigration, the war on drugs, police brutality. They all kind of roll up into one.
Did you say
Big
drugs?
drugs, lots of
Okay.
drugs. I
Nancy
know
Reagan,
420.
rest in peace.
I know 420 was last week, but like we're still riding that high. So we're doing drugs again tonight.
Matt's
And
gonna do lines of coke off of my boobs.
yeah, virtual lines, which gets you like virtually high or something. I don't know.
The simulation high, the Matrix,
Yeah,
the Matrix. That's right.
is it real? It's
What?
as real as you make it, I believe.
Right.
It's only as gay as you make it. Anyhow, what do you got on your mind today, Aaron? What are we going to cover from your end?
I've got so much shit in this brain. Let me start off with
A big old
the
brain.
most concerning. The most concerning. Oh, shut up, Tim. I don't have to look at no fucking camera. You can get my side view, bitch. The most upsetting news of the day. So for those of you who tune in, you know my absolute hatred of Rocky's management. I fucking hate chugging dick. You can chug a dick. Just fucking hate him. So what happened yesterday is they fired the GM. And of course, all of Colorado is in fucking celebration like it's that party at the end of Star Wars. Nobody's fucking realizing Dick Monfort is still the owner of the Rockies. Why the fuck would you fire your GM in April? This is only going to buy him another 2 or 3 years of excuses as why this team is shit. And they're going to and the guy they hired as interim manager is basically a numbers guy. And he's just another yes man. But you know what? Colorado's so excited Jeff Bridich is gone. Like, if you cut half a piece of cancer out, does that solve the cancer problem?
It half solves it. And, you know, if you can't whole ass something, a half ass is just as half assed.
So people out there, don't fall for Monford's tricks. He literally just buys years of sympathy, and fucking Rockies fans come out. So don't buy into it. Just don't.
That being said, Jeff Bridich did need to go.
Yeah.
But by the way, it's like Donald Trump probably needed to go, but like the alternative is not much better.
Apparently.
And guess what? We're the owners of that shit because we keep electing these fucking idiots into office. So to start off on my end, I had a funny conversation this morning that extrapolated into a little deal I thought would work pretty good for this particular topic. So I mentioned something about a monkey this morning when we were saddling up horses. And my fellow pen writer, his name is Aaron as well.
The bad
we'll
Aaron.
Call him Mexi Aaron because
the bad Aaron.
He's not bad.
Aaron.
He's just I'm
good, Aaron.
He's not danger Aaron.
Oh, okay.
You're danger Aaron.
Clarification.
And so he'll be half Mexican Aaron, so like half Mex Aaron. I gotta think of something else that rolls off the tongue a little bit better. But anyway,
I got one.
I haven't known you.
I'm Aaron.
Other Aaron.
He's Aaron. That rolls off the tongue.
Oh, there we go. Aaron. I didn't inherit the tongue rolling part of the Mexican heritage. Apparently, I can a little bit roll my tongue, but it's not great. Let's be honest.
I'm not shocked.
So anyhow, I mentioned something about a monkey, and I don't remember in what context whatsoever. But he was like, "Hey, that reminds me of this story." And he was born in Southern California. I don't know if it was like LA area or like even farther south, but I think it was probably farther south, and moved up to Oregon later on in life. But he said, "I got a buddy from back home that used to go to TJ all the time," and that's Tijuana for the lay people.
I thought it was Thomas Jefferson.
Well, that T. Jeff is a good guy. He's a fine man, a homie, if you will. And but anyway, well, we're talking about Tijuana, and he said there was a little Mexican fella. Figure that in Mexico, weird. Had a little monkey, and he also had I don't know what what the striking object was, but it was a blunt object. I'm picturing like one of those. Wait. Size, yeah. I'm picturing a fun size Louisville Slugger.
Question.
Yeah.
Like a monkey as a pet?
Not so much a pet as like a work animal per se, because
did he retire from what was it, picking off coconuts, and then he got fired because everybody was pissed off about it, and then now he went down to Tijuana for work.
He probably led a monkey slavery revolt in Indonesia or wherever. And
that's what happens when you try to unionize. Mm-hmm.
Seriously. It's like a monkey Che Guevara down there. But anyhow, apparently it was like in the market area. I don't know if it was near the red light district or what, because TJ got some real shady shit that goes on down there. But this one, however, was it was pretty good, clean fun, I got to say. You paid the man, and you'd get like 5 tries with a little Louisville Slugger or whatever. Maybe it was a golf club, I don't know, but you got to try to hit the monkey with whatever object this was. Yeah.
Could I choose a rock? Or would it have to be? Wait, so they're using the monkey as a pinata, basically.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. It gets better. It gets better. So apparently,
I like this guy already.
Apparently, Aaron's friend got to know the little monkey fella. Maybe he got to know the monkey. I don't know if that's a thing or not, but And the guy that owned said monkey said that the monkey watched your eyes, and therefore like he never got hit. Like everybody was real quick, and that monkey was just a little quicker. Well, his buddy had another buddy who happened to be cross-eyed. And
is this a joke? You fucking joking right now?
No, this is not a joke. 100% true. And sure enough, monkey's looking at these cross-eyed, and he got all sorts of Twitter pated. And next thing you know, old fucking Jethro or Cletus, whatever his name is. I'm guessing he probably was missing some teeth too, but he clocks this old monkey and just drops him. I was like, well, did he kill the monkey? Because I'm not cool with that. You know, get your eyes fixed, man. Don't take it out on him. But apparently the monkey was fine. It just knocked him out. But I was like, you always hear those stories about people that get like hit by a car or something and it changes their personality. Like Roseanne was like a nice little Mormon girl, I think. And then she got hit by a car crossing the street.
I don't know. I think Tom Arnold might have contributed to that.
Well, that too. Chalk one up for the guys. Yeah. But what? Oh yeah. So like Roseanne, after that, she became like all wild and crazy and impulsive. And Sam Kinison was the same thing. Like Sam Kinison was a preacher, and then he got hit by a car or something, and then he became like this one of the greatest comedians of all time. But he was also like snorting entire kilos of coke. And
why not?
Well, yeah. And so like, what if like that monkey just like fast forwarded through evolution because of that one little knock on the head that
that's where you were going with that.
Yeah. And so like next thing you know, like we've got a real Planet of the Apes deal, and like we are not prepared to defend against like sentient apes. Like that's not something we're prepared for.
You know what? If it was a Planet of the Apes scenario, I would hope I would be like a pet of a prince or princess. And like those dogs get fed, they get bred with other, I would want to be the
indoor
house
bear.
Yes. Oh God, yes. That's right. I'll sleep on the floor in my like little golden fucking pillow.
I heard somebody refer to like the soy boys as indoor cats, and it made perfect sense. Like indoor cats, that just made sense.
Who the fuck are the soy boys?
Like your typical woke, anybody that identifies as a male feminist.
Oh, okay.
Like the guys that they're leaning into the whole feminism thing, but they're still trying to get laid. they just don't have any game.
That's a bottom of barrel game.
I know it. But anyway, like next thing you know, instead of fighting the Iraqis and the Syrians and the Iranians, like we'll be fighting the baboons somewhere. Like can you imagine a bunch of fucking baboons rolling up in like those landing boats from D-Day? Holy shit, happens, man!
If that happens,
horrifying.
We're going to Walsh because there's no fucking trees, there's no fucking hills, nothing. We'll see them coming. And plus, Walsh has 10 more guns to people, so we'll be set.
Well, it's also pretty high elevation, so those bullets carry a long ways. So it's still almost 4,000 feet. So even though it's the plains, so yeah, it's an ideal scenario. But I got to thinking about like, so we've got a fucking mess on the southern border, which is nothing new. I mean, when has the southern border not been a mess in our lifetime?
Not since I've been voting, apparently.
Nah, me neither. And even before that, I can, like even before like NAFTA, I can remember even like real young it being an issue. And then you read Lonesome Dove, and you read about how like the Mexicans and the Texans just like stole each other's cattle and horses on a regular basis. like somebody would send a raiding party across the Rio and bring back a bunch of the other side's horses and cattle. And it was just like the border's always been an issue. But it used to be like that, like the Mexicans came up, they worked because they they made good money here. It was seasonal labor, and then they'd go home and they'd live like kings for the winter or whatever, and then they'd come back up and harvest or whatever. And it was a pretty good deal. It was just it was almost an open borders type deal. And then comes the welfare state. And then when you get across the border, when you get laid off, when planting season's done or harvest is over, and instead of going back to Mexico, maybe just file for unemployment or for this welfare and just live off of welfare for the winter. And then harvest comes around, and you're like, I could go pick a bunch of onions, but maybe I'll just maybe I'll stay here and get some of that free government money because it just keeps coming in. And then you get another wave of them that come over, and and it keeps festering. And it's same thing within the Black communities. That was kind of one of the big kickers during the 30s. Everybody thinks that the Black community started voting Democrat during the Civil Rights era, but it was really during the New Deal. FDR brokered a deal where it was some sort of welfare plan for like specifically aimed at the Black community to gather the vote. And that's really when the Black community started voting Democrat. And then the Civil Rights era, Lyndon Johnson, even though he was a giant racist, like what would you say?
Wait.
I'd say it's a toss-up.
A guy from Texas in the 60s? A guy from Texas in the 60s? Shocking.
I know. A Democrat from Texas in the 60s, nonetheless. But I think it's kind of a toss-up between him and Woodrow Wilson as like most racist president post-Civil War era.
But
LBJ, he knew.
Was LBJ part of the Klan? Wilson might win that one.
Wins.
But
I think LBJ is pretty close. I mean, I think LBJ is pretty close. But then, I forget where I was going. Oh, so yeah, but the same thing, like that's kind of what started the whole the Black community voting Democrat. But then, LBJ, he pounced on the Civil Rights Act because he's on record saying I'll have the N-words voting Democrat for 100 years because of this. And so, I mean, it was good politics. But then we also, like, you take the drug war, which was partially pushed forward by, like, William Randolph Hearst, who was big in the paper business. And because of this new way to extract fibers from hemp, hemp paper was rapidly cutting into the paper, the wood paper market. And William Randolph Hearst, he didn't want to, instead of adapting to hemp, he's like, well, I've already got all these sawmills and shit. So instead of spending money to build hemp paper or make hemp paper, he spent money and lobbied Congress and got hemp made illegal, partially by demonizing it, tying it into like the ag labor movement that was anti-immigrant, and they used marijuana as one of the driving forces to kind of at the same time demonize hemp and Mexican immigrant labor. And then you go in the 70s, and like Nixon declared the war on drugs. Reagan really ramped it up.
Nancy's just say no.
Old Nance. And by the way, Joe Biden the whole time was calling Reagan a puss for not being tough enough on crime. and also authored the 1994 crime bill, which put like 3 million black men in jail for mostly nonviolent crimes. And Kamala Harris also presided over, as DEA or Attorney General, prosecuted more marijuana cases than any other Attorney General in the country. So therefore, locking up something like 15,000 black guys for nonviolent crimes. So I'm not sure on the stats, but
it's more than one. It's more than one.
Yeah, far more than one.
Yes,
many ones.
Take the under, like Price is Right. It's at least one.
Mm-hmm. And this is the platform that BLM endorsed, by the way, which is not the Bureau of Land Management, Black Lives Matter.
Bureau of Land Management.
Probably the two.
The fuck up.
Yeah. But the two people that have probably locked up more black people than anyone else in the country, or responsible for it. That's who Black Lives Matter endorsed. So that's neat. But anyway, you've got all these like coca farmers in Colombia, because remember, cocaine used to be 100% legal. Marijuana used to be 100% legal for almost 200 years. It was 100% legal. Before heroin, it was opium and laudanum. They outlawed that.
For headaches.
And so then
I've seen in enough cowboy movies, it was for headaches. And then they would get hooked on it and be pig farmers.
Something like that, yeah.
Because they're worn out.
Or your famous lawman husband runs off with a opera singer or something.
Right. Yeah. She didn't really give him any, reason to stay. She was crazy bitch.
But turns out after they outlawed it, people still kind of liked laudanum and opium, but it was harder to get. So they still kept shipping it in, but they turned it into heroin, which is just a concentrated form. And it turns out that that's kind of a dangerous deal, like a little bit more dangerous than. They make that illegal, then they get like fentanyl, which is far more deadly. You get opioids, which were basically synthetic heroin. And anyway, but you still have all these coca farmers, these poppy farmers, all of that still growing their thing, but now they got nowhere to go with it. So the only people that are willing to take it and bring it into the US are people like El Chapo, or what's his name, the Colombian guy, Pablo Escobar. Yeah. And so you get the rise of cartels directly related to the war on drugs. And the number one reason people are declaring or filing for sanctuary at the border is because of cartel violence in Mexico, Honduras, Guatemala, El Salvador, Colombia still. Colombia not quite as much nowadays, but the big deal at the border is not even Mexicans. It's Guatemalans and Hondurans and Salvadoranians coming up through Mexico to get to the U.S. And it's all spurred, or say over 9% of it is spurred by cartel violence. And it all starts with the war on drugs. In the meantime, how many trillion? I think we're in the trillions on the war on drugs at this point.
I'm sure we are.
We have a full quarter of the world's prison population, mostly due to the war on drugs. The vast majority of them are in there for nonviolent crimes. We have a private prison industry that has contracts with these separate states that they have to have a certain capacity of inmates at all times. Like, that is a contract with the state. And so now you have the state is incentivized in order to fulfill their contract with a private prison to lock more people in prison, or shift maybe inmates from a federal prison to that prison in order to keep their capacity, fulfill their end of the contract. And that, if you can't see how that's fucked up, man, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you.
Nothing to see here, Matt.
So I guess so to wrap it all up, we've caused these savages like Pablo Escobar and El Chapo because we knocked a monkey on the head, and I'm not calling any brown people monkeys. This is just strictly a metaphor. But a Colombian farmer, you knocked him on the head because he had got nowhere to send his product. Well, one step up the evolution is you go from farmer to a transport guy, and that transport guy just happens to have zero morals. He's still kind of an animal. And now you've got people like that basically running entire countries. and but we just keep trying that whole war on drugs as if the prohibition never happened. We'll always talk about how history will repeat itself if we don't learn. And, we just never seem to learn.
You were thinking about this all day, weren't you?
I've been thinking about this for a little while, but that particular metaphor, yeah. Yeah, I've been thinking that one all day.
we took the 2-mile course to get the logic, but it's there. But it took a little bit to get there.
But yeah, and that also is what is spurring all this inner city violence and protests against the cops. Is most of these like Breonna Taylor, that whole deal. She was shot in her own home by cops executing a no-knock raid over a drug charge. Like, if you hadn't made that drug illegal, like, that whole scenario doesn't happen.
Speaking of that lady who went into the wrong apartment and killed that guy on the couch, they're trying to appeal the murder conviction. Like, I don't know how,
because he had weed.
I mean,
because he had weed, but he was in his own apartment.
Yeah, you're in the wrong fucking apartment. Like,
yeah,
no.
Yeah, you shot a guy in his own apartment for no reason because you were in the wrong place.
Like, was she drunk? But like, I don't get that shit.
No, I don't know. But that guy was in his underwear eating ice cream and playing video games.
And like, even drunk, like, I don't think I've ever been drunk enough to go to a door that I didn't know wasn't mine.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I've never. Yeah, like, the only time I've really had that type of scenario was in the dorms, and yeah, I don't think I ever went to the wrong dorm room.
No, not even crab claw and all. That didn't happen.
Yeah, I'm kind of like an old horse. I usually find my way home. It might take me a little bit to get there, but I'll find my way home.
Oh, so today I watched. So Joe Biden did a press conference on mandates on CDC. It's fucking hilarious because CDC said if you're outside and you're vaccinated, you don't have to wear a mask, especially around other vaccinated people. And so he followed it up by calling a press conference to tell us what CDC said. But he walked out with a mask. What's the fucking point? Like, you're outside and you're in a mask. Signaling. Well, and like, I heard
virtue signaling, and I hate that term too, but that's what it is.
And it was hilarious because somebody made a good point. Can't remember what news outlet it was, but basically, by you constantly wearing a mask, I mean, essentially the vaccine should protect you pretty well. But by you wearing a mask, you're literally muddling your own message. Like, people are out there saying, oh shit, even if I get a fucking vaccine, Why the fuck would I get it if I still have to wear a mask and still have to do all this shit? Like, I don't know
and you got to
who
renew it. You got to get a booster every year, is what they're saying. And
I don't get like the messaging is fucking terrible. And I don't he must have a bunch of just one track mind people in that administration because it's contradicting every day. And it's pathetic because liberals were always and people didn't like Trump were bitching about his contradictions, and then they're doing the exact same shit on the same level. Fucking crazy, man.
Well, it's just it's the cognitive dissonance. Like nobody's trying to find the truth. They're trying to find some faction of the truth that supports their agenda. Like they come with a conclusion in mind, and that's it. And like I got into I commented on or responded to a comment on a post in the bull session group, and it was a post like I think it said I can breathe because I obey the law. And I was like, and that is such an oversimplification of what happened in the whole George Floyd thing. And you're just like, yeah, the guy overdosed. He swallowed his stash of fentanyl because he knew he was probably going to jail, and if he had fentanyl on him, that's gonna add to the charges. Like this all goes back to the whole drug war thing. But initially they were there for a fake $20 bill. Like, it didn't have to escalate that. And then the guy's cuffed with his hands behind his back, and you're kneeling on, the video that we saw initially showed him on his neck for 9 minutes. And, and then they have in the trial, they have different videos that shows him shifting between his neck and his shoulders. But either way, you have your entire weight on this guy's respiratory system for 9,
probably 170 pounds. Just bam, right there. Yep.
And so whether the guy had fentanyl in his system or not, that is not an appropriate action for a police officer. The guy should go to jail. I don't think murder 2 charge was necessarily appropriate, but that also that whole scene is just a classic example of cowering to the mob. Like the judge cowered to the mob, the freaking jury. One of the jurors admitted she was afraid of her house getting burnt to the ground. So like, and he didn't sequester the jury either. And one of those jury members had to drive through the fucking riots every morning. like, yeah, the guy should have been convicted on something, but to call that like a fair, a carriage of justice is, I mean, it's a farce.
I'm curious to see what the appeals look like.
Yeah, the appeals will be. I think he'll win an appeal, get a new trial. I think he'll still get convicted, but
I think a manslaughter one would stick. Was that the 40 years one?
I'm not for sure what manslaughter is, but I think they were saying because he got all 3. He got murder 2, murder 3, and
was it manslaughter 2? Something like that.
I think so. I think they said all told it was like 25 years, which that's a lot. Or maybe they said 60 years. If that's the case, that's basically a life sentence.
Right.
And is that appropriate? I don't know, but that's the discussion you should be having, not whether or not he was in the wrong or not. I think even with all the nuances of the case, like he acted inappropriately, and if you're a cop and you're acting inappropriately and against protocol, which his own police department said that he did in the trial under oath. So if that's the case, like there has to be some accountability, and that's one of the main arguments of the BLM movement. Like the organization can fuck off. I don't care about the BLM organization. They're a bunch of grifters and Marxists. Well, fake Marxists at that. They preach, but then they buy what $13 million homes or whatever it was. $4 million. I can't remember.
It's a big business.
In the millions. Self-professed Marxist leader of BLM. Yeah.
But isn't that kind of like all those historical figures? Like even like Stalin was living large. You know?
Yeah.
Like it's you suffer, you go ahead, everybody equal, but I'm gonna have the gold-plated bidet that just washes my asshole.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, man, it's what a wild week. Let's what you got that I guess I got that picture that.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah, let me pull that up here.
So what I did is I sent McKinley a picture of the census and which states lost representation and which states gained representation. It's pretty interesting. And I know this is exactly what's going to fucking happen. It happens again and again and again. So California lost one, New York lost one, Pennsylvania lost one, Michigan lost one, right?
Yeah, I think so.
What else? There was a couple. Virginia, was it Virginia lost one?
I'm pulling it up right now.
But then Texas added one, Colorado added one, Oregon, Minnesota, Florida. So what's fucking happening is people from California are either moving here or Florida. Michigan's definitely moving here. And it's going to turn the state even more blue. And it's just like, it seems like they'll just go from state to state until it's just all blue. And not even recognizing that you're leaving the fucking state because of these policies. But nope, you want to bring it here.
Yeah, so here's Oregon gained, which is kind of surprising because they're basically just little California, Oregon, Washington, Nevada at this point too. But they gained a seat. Montana, that's no big surprise. A lot of people moving to Montana. Texas gains two. Big surprise. Yeah. Colorado gained one.
New York's out. Illinois.
Yeah, New York lost theirs by 89 people.
I heard
89 people.
Fuck yeah.
And I think it was Michigan lost one by 26. But 26? Hey, Gretchen Whitmer, that's what I heard.
Well, and then I was watching MSNBC, and now they're starting to complain about, we didn't have enough time. We didn't get accurate numbers, which basically means we're just pissed off and we lost, so we want to change the game, which we've seen a lot of that lately.
Yeah. So Michigan loses one, Illinois loses one, Ohio, West Virginia, Pennsylvania, and New York. So Ohio, West Virginia, that one kind of surprised me. I don't know. I think, I guess, was Ohio locked down pretty hard? They must have been.
You know what? I don't even know. I even forgot Ohio was a state during the pandemic. I haven't heard shit from them since the election.
Yeah, you never do.
Never do. But we want to be one of the first states, even though fucking half the country can't tell us where we are on a map.
Yeah, and you've got the Browns.
Browns,
also
poor bastards.
Produced LeBron. You also produced LeBron. What a fuck that guy.
You know what? He's just a prime example of everybody else in the United States. He sees something and doesn't do any research and just comments on it. They put something online, and if you're the regular old Joe Schmo schmuck, it doesn't matter if you delete it. But he's got millions of followers, and of course they got to follow what he's saying. Just a little due diligence.
Check this out, Aaron.
Just a little due diligence.
Take a look at this.
Oh, you're drinking the right beer tonight. That's so good. You know what? I want a beer. 1 second while I tinkle and beer it up. Matthew McKinley, please please take us into our first break.
I will. This break is brought to you by James Gorman, who made this fine rope basket for me. Pretty cool deal. Now it's a beer holder. I think that's what he intended it for. He said looks like it's big enough to fit a Corona all the way across. So I'm going to have to put that to use. Maybe not Corona. Yeah, Corona ain't too bad. But, yeah, it's been a wild couple of weeks. We've got, seems like baseball every night. And then it's been kind of cold, kind of hot, kind of cold. Cattle are suffering. It's that typical spring weather. You get the wild temperature swings, windy and shitty and cold one day, and then it'll get up to about 80, and next thing you know, cattle are falling apart. But hey, that's what we signed up for, ain't it? I think maybe that's what I tell myself. It helps me get through the day, and yeah, I think. Aaron, hurry up! I'm running out of steam. There he is. There he is. He's back. He's back. Look at him. Look at that stash.
Doesn't it look good?
Oh yeah.
I look like I should be in the Clanton gang.
I should probably wax mine up. It's getting long enough where I can wax it again.
Oh,
you got a lining Kugels?
Basic bitch time. Oh my god.
That is basic.
So last weekend I had the most basic bitch moment. Fucking my kids were gone. I can't remember why. I think they were with my wife going to her sister's house. And I sat here drinking my Michigan cherry coffee with a little bit of almond milk in it. And I was watching basically the murder porn. I was watching about the fucking true crime stories. I was 10 minutes away from baking a pie. It was fucking glorious.
Just Martha Stewart and that motherfucker.
It would have been better if it was a praline coffee with a hint of amaretto.
Pralines and dick.
Favorite ice cream flavor.
All right. Your turn. I'm going to go pee.
Oh, okay. Well, people, since my good friend Tim Jim is on, I think I'll probably tell you a story of what Tim's favorite game to play when we went out to the bars, when we went to Colorado State University. So as many of you know, probably from my fat head, you can tell that I'm a little big boy, 230 pounds at 6 foot, not a fucking fat fuck, but definitely one of the bigger fellas. So Tim's favorite pastime when we went to the bars is to find a woman who could basically beat me in a mud wrestling match, go up to her, and basically the game was called Have You Met My Friend Aaron? Every single fucking time we go out, he'd find the biggest chick in there, and he'd play Have You Met My Friend Aaron? This is the type of people I fucking surrounded myself with. On a daily, I ask, is it me, or are they just pieces of shit that I just collect along my way? I think it's a little bit of both. But with Tim Martin, he's kind of like a puppy dog. He's that puppy dog who just shits all over the carpet. And you have to keep him because if you don't, nobody else will fucking take care of him. Literally nobody. And it was great because he's married now. We don't have any responsibility over him. So fuck you, Tim, if you're still listening.
And that is the story of the Industrial Revolution. You get out there and you find that fucking dog.
You find whoa. Miss Lippy.
Oh, yeah. Tim, what a piece of shit.
What a piece of shit. See, is he still listening?
I don't know. We don't have any live. I'll have to look in the Patreon group.
Our live audiences definitely broke off after Matt told about the fucking monkey and the cross-eyed guy.
Must have.
Too much. That was too much. Fucking Aaron talking about his asshole.
Guess.
Aaron talking about his asshole gold. But the monkey,
yeah.
Too much. Too fucking much.
too much. We, by the way, we're running an experiment on Facebook. It's, I think it's a good one. We started a backup page because, like, the main page or the bull session group is going to get nuked at one like it's almost every day I get some sort of notification that either a piece of content has been removed or the admins have been bad people because we allowed or we approved some piece of content that went against community guidelines. And it's, I mean, like they already said I can't advertise, and
you flashed your dick, didn't you?
Like, I don't know.
Well,
I mean, that's how I say hello.
You got a Humber from a tranny on live fucking stream, didn't you?
Like, I'm not sure how to address them. They did not disclose it till post transaction. So,
whoa. How did you know?
If I didn't,
because her balls were as big as her Adam's apple.
see, this is why the Hummer is acceptable, because you don't ever know. And like, they didn't have to say anything. They did, and now I got to live with that. And you know, I got to say, not cool.
Matt, if we were in college, because I thought about this the other day, I have these random thoughts. If you were in college and there was a legit glory hole, and you knew somebody was on the other side, but you didn't know who, do you think college Matt would stick his dick in a hole he didn't know what was going in?
No, because I had plenty of chances to, go hog hunting, and I very rarely indulged in that particular practice. I'm not to say that I have, but it was not like I was. I was not that guy. I was not that guy.
It's not even.
I would talk a lot of shit, but no, when it came down to it, not really.
I feel like it would have to be a special concoction for me to fucking stick my dick in a hole. It would have. I would have to. It would almost have to be my 21st birthday, where we finished off with the three wise men.
Mm-hmm.
That because at that point, sticking your dick in the hole wouldn't be the worst choice you made that night.
I remember on your 21st birthday, you we had to go like girl style to the bathroom because you were like blacked out, and there was a good chance you were going to get in a fight in the bathroom.
Probably.
We were at Wash Bar, so it was Washington's for the lay people.
Wash Bar, known for all the fraternity douchebags, home of the fraternity douchebag.
Yeah, and also everybody that lived in sketchy ass North Fort Collins,
which we did.
So like the 4 Mexicans and 3 non-CSU athletic black people lived in that part of Fort Collins. The rest of the town's pretty damn white. Pretty white.
Well, yeah. If you watch South Park, you know that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that. Where was I going with that?
Aaron drunk at Wash Bar.
Oh, right. Yeah. So they had
another basic bitch moment in the history of fucking danger.
Yeah, and yeah. So that bar was, as far as Fort Collins goes, that was probably one of the sketchier ones. Like Fort Collins is not that sketchy. Like you really didn't have to, except for the frat guys. They probably would date rape you. They probably would. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, and so no gentle.
But if you were a dude, you didn't have much to worry about. Like you were not worried about getting stabbed in Fort Collins.
Never.
No. But that being said, if there was going to be a fight, it was going to be at Tony's or Wash Bar. And Wash Bar was way bigger, had way more people. They had really good drink deals. And the entire place smelled like just a lovely aroma of stale beer, piss, and vomit all mixed together.
Yep. Like not even like beer vomit. It smelled like fucking daiquiri vomit. There was a hint of strawberry in that shit.
Yeah, because they did some sort of strawberry bullshit drink that for their special. But anyway, Aaron is blacked out. And if it's gonna be a fight, it's probably gonna be in the bathroom. So we're caravanning woman style to the bathroom. And I shove you into a stall because I was like, no, because they had a trough. They didn't have urinals, they had a trough. And I was like, nope, you're not pissing in the trough. I just like shoved you into a stall and you're like, fine, whatever. And like you kept weaving like you were pissing. It was like steady stream. Then you'd like slap the wall, even though you weren't. You must have your vertigo must have been kicking in because like you never really wavered when you slapped the wall. Like you'd slap, and then that would like actually upset your balance.
Wait. I wasn't drunk. I just have an inner ear problem. All right. I don't have good balance.
Yes, that's what it was. But anyway, yeah. I was videoing that whole thing, and I had a couple guys like getting ready to fight, and I was like, no, this is my buddy's 21st, and they look and like they saw you slap the wall, and they're like, oh, can you send me that?
Was that the night that I threw up next to the old spare wagon wheel out front?
I think so. Yeah.
Well, you know what? I probably threw up like I was a fucking dog marking my territory. That night, did I do the stall where the stall trick me and Nick used to do, where we'd basically go into a stall and then do like the kindergarten look. We'd pull our pants straight down, ass bared, and then we'd have our shirt up to our fucking chin.
That's
so you could just see everything. Most people got it like, oh yeah, that's clever. I'm sure somebody at Wash Bar took offense to it.
I'm sure. Yeah. Well, like I said, if there was ever a place that somebody was going to take offense at something, it was probably some douchebag frat guy that, you know, his dealer was fresh out of roofies. So, you know, he's a little pissed, and I probably took offense.
Why do they call them roofies? They should call them flories.
That was a great line. It's still a great line.
Fucking taco in the league.
Oh,
God
well, I thought that was from The Hangover.
Oh yeah, that is. Yep, you're right.
Yeah, from what's his dealer's name?
Fucking
Black Doug.
Doug. Black Doug.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Black Doug. That was a great movie. Like the sequels, not as good, but I mean they still played, but that first one was fucking legendary.
See? And little movie trivia, the monkey in The Hangover 2 is the monkey that you talked about the people were taking crack shots at for money.
Mm-hmm.
He went on to be very successful. His personality
changed. That's what
we
call a callback.
His personality changed and he became an actor. World-class actor. Mm-hmm. So yeah. If you want to be successful, have Americans hit you with a bat. That's the lesson of the story. Yeah.
Be a monkey, have us hit you with a bat.
Yeah.
I think we solved the world problems here.
Like, but if I get hit, I'll probably just turn into a vegetable. But still life-changing.
Life-changing. Life-altering experience. Mm-hmm. Spiritual, you might say. Well, on that note, I think we're going to sign off for the regular feed. We'll talk some shit for the Patreon subscribers because those are the real NDPs.
Yeah, once you already get a fucking Patreon account, people. Fucking
yeah, seriously. Hey, we're
We say
giving away ropes.
We say fuck at least 20% more on the Patreon.
Mm-hmm.
So
and that's a huge increase, by the way.
That is.
I mean, like 2. That's like adding a solid inch to my penis. I mean,
that's
20%,
like
that gives me 20% of a penis. That's a fact, Jack.
That's like if my perm press pubes grew sparkles on it just naturally. I mean, I add them to the bush, but that would be like, hey, they just automatically appear. It saves me a ton of money.
Well, and honestly, that's like it's sexy, but it's classy, you know.
Well, I'm a fucking classy lady.
It adds a little sparkle, and everybody likes a little sparkle.
That's right. Fucking get it done.
Yeah. So anyway, sign us off.
Oh fuck! Every time you say this, I forget the fucking saying. Move your ass. We are fucking burning daylight, and we are
burning the shit out of it.
Burning the shit out of it.
Yeah, we got to find one for Fence Post Politics, but that's for another time.
What's
Yeah.
What's the one for Fence Post Politics?
I don't know. We got to think of one.
Fuck it.
Yeah. Fuck it.